There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. How about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, so come from earth we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom.
Who is God? God is God.
I found out that this man, who was Dr. Malachi York,
This free-eye actors thing, they're playing on the ignorance of the masses. They let you know what they want you to know.
I said I was going to take all y'all back to Egypt with me. I can't because the Arabs will mess everything up, so hell, I'm bringing Egypt here for you.
They've made so much jokes about aliens, but the word really is extraterrestrials or extra beings.
A sword myth. In our language, that means the black man.
They say, oh, it's a craft, and then you start to look at the whole Anunnaki thing. The devil was telling the truth, and God was lying.
Amongst us, we have those beings, those high beings, going back 9 billion years ago, who are here on the planet.
Extraterrestrials do leave their children here. We can name drop them. David Bowie, Jimi Hendrix, caught up in their spiritual or their scientific knowledge of who they were, and they were caught up in both worlds. Within the center of the earth is hollow. There's beings that actually live and reside in there.
They now have fighter jets whereby it's connected to the pilot's subconscious.
Hitler was building these crafts in the Antarctic.
You can't claim innocence due to ignorance. It doesn't say at the beginning, it says in the beginning. That means during a replenishing period. So that means that the earth was already there.
Some lost their soul because they've mixed in with other creatures on the planet. And when you mix in with other creatures on a lower level.
Souls are recycled. Spirits are recycled. Most people have not been taught the information about the spirit and the soul.
Who is God? God is God.
There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, so come from earth we may be, but we are life-born spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring the master teacher. Bring the freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do everything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, Oh, the master teacher.
Let's get an audio test here. Can you hear on Zoom, Moishar? Rohobat, the Kayan, Tat, and we send greetings to you all with a shock. Let's give it another minute, then we're going to start. Rohobat to Sachtet on the Clubhouse. Hey, let's it's just 1900 hours, so let's begin. Let's start like this. We bring the rays together. Pa Patar, the third eye. Pa Mir, the nose, which is the pyramid. Pa Borov, Gadot, the Barathuli clan. Port Koon, Anuki. All is, I am. All is existence, I am existence. Once again, let's say Rohubad. I am Hapti Ray Atam Hatam, one of the many student teachers, feminine and masculines of the master teacher. Parnabab Yananan, galactical master teacher of heaven and earth, affectionately known to us as Baba Yanun. Deity, another, a Riskian, incarnated into the body of His Excellency Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, Quran 33 degrees over 720 degrees. And today's class is entitled Rizq, Panabab Yanun, and You. What is the connection? Okay. So this is a part 2. This is a continuation from the class we did a few weeks back.
Welcome.
So before we start, I'd just like to open the class with a reading from Palmud Sahu, the 9. Can all see that? You can do a reading from page 47, and it's entitled Anshur wu-nuwaup, spread and replace. 1. Nuwaupians, each of you must seek the way, your all's own way. Tarakumkum, the path towards wu-nuwaup, your all's own culture and way of life. Nuwaupians, each of you all must spread wu-nuwaup. Nuwaupians, each of you all must find the divine inside of your own selves. Nuwaupians, you all are the replacement with the truth and the facts. Nuwaupians, you all can clear away the fictions, the fables, the legends, and the religious lies with the actual facts, wu-nuwaup. Nuwaupians, only you all can make a difference with the world's people. Remember, Nuwaupians, you all are the helpers of the overseers, the cure, for this Khalay Tapal, sick world. Ain Falasampa Musahu Danai. Let me say the wu-nuwaup or Wu-Sabat is it's a science of facts and reality. Our Nagaranadu, spiritual science and universal knowledge. And when we say spiritual science, we mean in that our spiritual way of life and living is based upon science. And wu-nuwaup, Wu-Sabat is the science of sciences and the science in sciences. Follow? And when we say universal knowledge, what we mean is universal. It's not just directed as Nagara Nadu, but it's like the old blood type is for everyone on Patapal, or say the world. what do you say? Power corrupt the planet Earth. So it's for everyone. See, especially us in Nagara Nadu. It's our cultural way of life and living. I mean, as we say so many times, when we say culture, it means our means of identification. Our culture is all encompassing, isn't it? It is, isn't it? All right. So let us begin today's class and pull up some notes. Right. Risk, partner, Bab, Yanun, and you. All right, here we go. What's the connection? And the question we need to ask is, what is the connection between Risk, partner, Bab, Yanun, and us? Anybody? Is there a connection? Okay. The connection basically is that the master's here to raise us up so that we can elevate to those high degrees, so that the elite amongst us will make that journey to Risk, stopping off on Orion and Cyrus onto Risk, or the great galaxy called Ilium.
Sorry, I don't know why it was so interesting what you just said when you said the elite among us. What would classify us as elite or becoming elite?
Okay, yeah. Do you know, that's a very good question. The master said that you heard the saying, many are called, few are chosen. Okay. And he says, from the chosen few, many are called, few are chosen. From the chosen few, I still sift to find those who want to realign themselves with the Most High. That's how he dropped it. So even though you got the chosen, he still have to sift through them, and through them are the elite. These are the ones who be like partner Babi and Anand. One another, maybe like him, you know what I mean? And these are the ones who he's looking for, and who will make that trip in and beyond the stars. You see, so these are the elite. You see, they will be the ones who will be endowed with 720 degrees of knowledge. Yeah, they will be in actuality munzar. That's that's the best term to use. You know, they'll be activating 100% brain capacity, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so let's quickly recap from the scroll here. Man from this is the scroll we read from last time. Man from Panelist, and this is what he says in here. And the question is, this is what he says here. Question: just who? This is from page. This is from the page. It's got the page 2 here. I think it's, anyway, this is what it says on page 3. Oh, this is like a preface. It's got here. Question: just who are you? And he says here, answer. To understand who and what I am, you have to first understand who and what you are, and that class begins with understanding your genetics, basically your genes, your DNA, etc., etc., and how he goes on to say how our DNA has been pre-encoded with information. And Wu-Sabat is really a remembering tool as it is a learning tool. So it's here for us to remember or we should say information that has been encoded into our DNA, and Wu-Sabat, wu-nuwaup is that tool to make us have what we call DNA explosion. So remember once again. Okay, that's what it is. We'll say. Total recall, 100%. Yeah, total recall. So Wu-Sabat or wu-nuwaup is divided into 2 categories, but both are interlinked. There is the knowledge, or we say the knowledge and the application. There is the art and the science. The science is the knowledge, the arts, the application. We tend to deliver a lot of knowledge, a lot of the science, but what about the application? Because we've heard the saying that knowledge is power, but not all knowledge is just knowledge in an inert state. It's inactive. In order to activate it, we're talking about the application of what we've learned. You see, so that's what it is, isn't it? And it's also Wu-Sabat is an operating system that's meant to tell us how we should operate, how we should function. You see, more mentally, because once our mind is right, our actions will be right. And he also says the thing also is that there is no physical unity without mental unity.
Well, in saying until our mind is right, our actions won't be right. If you, even if you're doing right, if you're not doing, if you don't get your mind right, as in like actively doing things to transform your mind, essentially doing things without the change in mindset won't mean anything.
Yes or no? That's a good question. Yes or no? Do you know that we have to start from a point, a path? It's like you're chanting or you're doing things, but you haven't got the science behind why or what you're doing. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it, like a parrot. Okay. Now, that will put you still in the category of religiosity. You don't why you're praying. I want to make the connection to the Most High, you know. Yeah, but can you give us the science behind it? So once you've got the knowledge behind the application, then that acts as a catalyst to make you travel even further and faster. But hear this though. Remember, what come to you? A sister once said this. She said it like this: if you travel alone, you travel faster. But if you travel together, you travel further. What remember this is the same now. Yeah, if you travel alone, you travel faster. But if you travel together, you travel further. Brother, hopes to say
The
something.
DNA is pre-encoded in every human being. You know, what does that mean then in terms of like the action points of the pre-encoded DNA? Because the DNA resonates with your environment, doesn't it?
It makes so that
It resonates with your environment.
It has an effect, yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, if you're in the wrong environment, yeah, does that pre-encoded DNA, is it somewhat affected? It's like a computer. If the computer's not working properly, you'd have to defrag it. Yeah, so therefore, would it be Wu-Sabat's defragging system to operate the operating system properly?
Yeah, I hear that. I remember you the one who brought that word defragmentation to my attention many years back. Yeah, you're 100% right. Now, it's good that you're making that analogy because you may have a brother, let's say like a brother on the street, and he's a drug dealer. Even though he's a drug dealer, he's got the mind of a scientist, of a chemist. He's just in the wrong environment. The environment is dictating to him his actions based upon the knowledge that he's got. Now, let's say that brother came into Wu-Sabat or was exposed to Wu-Sabat, and he is able to shift his attention, a 1 degree shift in the right direction, he will travel in the right direction. See, and you've got many people there who are into drugs, and they're very good at mathematics as well, but they're just they are just what's the word to use? Just in the wrong. They're just in the wrong environment. You know, the word is this: disenfranchised. That's the word. They're just in the wrong environment. That's all they need is a shift to be on the right path, the right way, and that's what it is. You see, so you're 100% right. You know, just need to be defragmented. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Need to shift. in consciousness. That's a small shift. And we all need a small shift in consciousness to be on the right path, or to be walking the right direction. Okay, very, very good. And so there's certain things the master says that has been pre-encoded in our DNA, waiting for that right time to awaken. And Wu-Sabat is that tool. And he calls it now, because there is only now. And everybody wakes up. See, the master teacher put it like this. It's like, Wu-Sabat's like an alarm clock. And we all wake up at different times. So some of us woke up years ago, and some of us are just waking up now. See, so the master says, doesn't matter if you've been in Wu-Sabat 10 years or 10 minutes. He goes, it's not about quantity, but it's about quality of time. Okay. So, okay. And when we talk about time, another, so I think go on in the information here. He talks about how time seems to be speeded up. And we say, oh, isn't time moving very fast? Well, the reason why time is moving fast is because a dimensional shift is occurring. Okay, and it has started since the year 1970 AD. And that ties in with the age of Aquarius, also ties in with the coming of the sun cycle. You see, when you say time is speeding up, you're talking about the three-dimensional space and one dimensional time is creating a fourth dimension extended. And the reason why this is occurring is so to bring in the beings from those higher dimensions into this world, or to prepare us to travel interdimensionally. You see, so this time frame that we are under, say the 24-hour clock or the calendar, basically the whole time structure is messed up, and it's done deliberately to throw us off time or natural time. Okay, let's say something about
Because that also tied to sun heat genes.
the sun heat genes.
Yeah, because it's genetically modified. Because obviously when you come out of Africa, you somewhat, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Again, the environment. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, when you come out there, the actual green of your environment, the genes change. Yeah. So therefore you have to go back to the sun. You know what I'm saying? To get energized.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, what you're saying is sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like, for example, we can't grow pineapples down here because of the environment. It would be able to flourish. It doesn't have certain nutrients, it doesn't have the sun, etc., to develop the way it's supposed to. So essentially, we're kind of like the same. Like, we can't flourish and thrive here. We have to go to our natural habitat in order to blossom.
Right. Right. That is correct. Yeah. However, we are where we are because that's where we're meant to be. You see. So there's a reason behind everything. You see. But when you say, like, go back to the tropical countries, be it Africa or even the West Indies, one brother said it like this: when you go back to Africa, he said it like this: you're walking on the land that your ancestors walked. He said, you're eating the foods that your ancestors ate, because you breathe in the air that your ancestors breathed. You see, and remember, Africa is the best part of the planet. When we say Africa, and when we say the Caribbean, another brother said to me that the same type of fruits, the same type of insects that you find in the West Indies, even go to Jamaica, the same type of insects and fruits, etc., you'll find in Africa. You see, and you may look at a brother, you may say he's Jamaican, but you find out the guy's from Ghana. You may look at a guy from Ghana, you find out he's from Jamaica. You see, so these naming of lands is a major cause of defragmenting us, creating division or differentiation when we're all basically one people, just different hues and different facial features, etc., See, so when they say that, you're from West Africa, I'm from West Africa, no, we're all from Africa. You know what I mean? It's like I'm from So where are you from? England. You don't say, I'm from Scotland. You know, you say, I'm from England. So, yeah. Part of their game plan. Go ahead.
Just even when you mention Elijah in the Bible, say they call him a Tishbite.
Yeah.
Because Tishbite means a place.
Okay.
So therefore, not a strong person.
Yeah.
That's what we've done all the time. So basically, what I'm saying is, when you look at the whole concept of you said, defaming us from the lands of our ancestors, we've got to get what's called like a DNA implosion, an explosion, because you can allow yourself. I'm saying implosion would be the total recall of what you are.
That's right.
Or what you reset to be. Let me clear.
Yeah. Let's read this from, I think we read this last time, but let's read this from Man from Planet Risk, page 36. And it reads, question, will the 144,000 be under the spell when this occurs? It goes, answer no. They have been pre-encoded to break the spell by awakening at this time with the help of the facts I put out. That means their DNA structures were genetically designed to go off at the sound of my voice and reading the scrolls, like an alarm clock at a designated moment in their own lives, in order to accommodate more facts and right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding. So we've got to have something in our heads, you know. We have a certain amount of information in our heads so that we can raise up to a certain level. Then there's certain things that is needed in us to elevate interdimensional or become fourth dimensional beings, etc. And one of them is the barotheric gland. We need that. Plus we need the liquid gold, we need that. So there's certain alterations that we need, or additions that we need in the body, so that we can be partly. Go ahead.
In the back, it said also that upgrading was done, like you got 12 corrections needed.
Okay, yeah.
What are the 12 corrections that's going to be needed?
Yeah.
I can't remember the actual, which I think 32 corrections being done. There's like 12 needed to be done.
Yeah, let's read that from here. What's the okay, yeah, I've got it here.
There's a black book.
Yeah, I've got it here, yeah. It's got here. This is from the introduction.
Yeah.
The black book. But let's read excerpt there. Okay, very good. It's not page, it's an introduction to black book, and it reads, your planet became a ground for all types of beings to survive. It was destroyed by several meteorite showers and then replenished over and over again. Just like in Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, it says, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. So the earth was destroyed, or let's say certain parts of the earth was destroyed, and they needed people to replenish that part of the land or the country or whatever. So replenishing has happened many, many times. And we are right now in a period where the planet is on a destruction course and will need to be replenished. The master tells us that the 144,000 of those elite will be taken off and come back to part of the replenishing period. Okay. The sea filled with all forms of alien life forms for food, and many skin diseases, blood diseases, even allergic reactions. With these beings, this is extraterrestrials, he says, making reference to, comes different types of climates, diseases, colds, sicknesses, etc. Not to mention that the scientific experiments and breeding of humans was abruptly disrupted by invading disagreeable beings, and the Homo sapien project is not complete. Thus, humans are in serious need of upgrading to divinity. Creation took place a period of 6 days. It was insane. Each day is 1,000 years, etc., etc. Okay. It was brought to a completion on the 7th day. After this creation, human beings needed 112 corrections of which only 76 has been done up to date, 1998 AD. Thus, you need 36 more corrections. I found someone said that there was certain correction that was done after 1998, but some of us fell back to sleep.
That be in the age corrections, or would that be at BH, but obviously with the actual cover of
In the what? In
the
the
BH, you learn different
okay,
things
yeah.
to grow,
I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
to elevate.
yeah.
So therefore, the corrections that's been basic corrections.
I do put everyone hear what you're saying.
The 36 corrections would be to call the 36 and 36 Shaolin Temple, but saying,
Yeah, Shaolin Temple.
it's famous.
Yeah.
I'm saying in terms of the actual concept of 36, what are those 36? And one is our eyes. Because sometimes we see 2020, but not all human beings can see 2020.
Right, yeah.
And some like, yes, so basically we got raised, even though spiritually, people say spirit, like you said earlier, the
Yeah.
science part we teach.
Yeah.
The spiritual part we teach, but the concept of spirituality is kind of misplaced with the science
Yeah.
behind it. Without the science, you can't go anywhere with the spiritual.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. You know, that the answer to your question is in here. This is The Secret of Tones and Wu-Sabat Elixir of Life of the Secrets. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, the corrections, this is what it says there. Yeah. It talks about Wu-Sabat, Wu-Sabat or liquid gold ore is part of the 8 monatomic elements. Gold, platinum, iridium. This is from page 1. Gold, platinum, iridium, rhodium, osmium, palladium, silver, and ruthenium. These are the monatomic elements or the transitional elements. And this is what it says when we take in this liquid gold. Let me find I'll just read the excerpt then. So it's got here. This is from page 7, verse 44. It reads, a single ruthenium atom placed at each end of a short strand of DNA would dismantle the short length helix and rebuild it correctly, and that strand of DNA becomes 10,000 times more conductive, a superconductive. 45. In turn, this double helix creates a highly conductive path along the axis of the molecule. 46. Platinum compounds interact with the DNA and the cellular body as well as ruthenium by stimulating healthy tissue regeneration of the endocrine system, the thymus, and heart tissue. 47. Platinum also stimulates the tissue regeneration neurologically, thus promoting increased mental perception, concentration, memory, creativity, and overall focus. And this here, he's basically telling you the upgrade process and that's just with the intake of liquid gold. So that will be corrected.
That would be like the movie Lucy.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The upgrade.
Yeah, the upgrade.
Yeah.
Just like in the movie, it's not a movie, but a guy Limitless, where the guy took one little tablet and he became to have 100% brain capacity, etc. In it. That's a good movie worth watching. Ed says, can you speak more on the 144,000, please? Yeah, the 144,000. Let me say it like this. When I first heard that, the 144,000, there's 7 billion people on the planet Earth or thereabouts. 144,000 are just like a spit in the ocean. Then you realize that 144,000, 90,000 could fit in Wembley Arena. Add another, isn't it? 90,000 could fit in a Wembley Arena, say box matches on, and then you need another 50,000 on top of that to make 40,000, another 54,000 people. Even just 144,000. That is a bit of a number, but it's nothing compared to the population of the planet. But 144,000 Nagaru on the planet. I mean, unless that's a symbolic number that ties into 9. Because he just say the elite few. See?
Is the 144 also octave?
144.
Yeah. The number, not talking about the thousand.
As in.
So the octave would be what? 448 plus 1, 9. Then you'd have the actual octave or the actual beats in actual, because there's a music out.
Yeah.
Something, if you did music, I would know more about this, but then in terms of the actual beats 144, is the actual beat of the rhythm of the, what's it called? The planet as well. Taking into your rhythm.
Okay, yeah, it's a good thing you said it because we're about to talk about the same thing. Let me quickly go to pages. Quickly go to my notes again. Okay. Forgot to came from Man from Planet Risk. Good thing that you mentioned that. Go to Man from Planet Risk, page 72. And he's talking about, I hear he's talking about 440 hertz as opposed to 8 hertz. Yeah. Let me just read that. And it's got here, page 70 of Man from Planet Risk. Question. What do you mean when you say music is one of those recreations that will slowly but surely kill you? So quickly going back to the brother Ed, who asked about the 144,000. Let me just read this on the same page 72, pertaining to the 144,000. And it reads, how would these members call you to position? Answer, often we, Panadaru, test this signal and you will hear it as a buzzing sound or ringing sound in your head or ears. That is sound waves, but without the broadcasting to you, as yet to inform the chosen of what they are to do. What was said in the last update was that the 144,000, not the last family call we had, but before that, what was said was that there were the elite few would be communicated telepathically. The higher beings will communicate to the people telepathically. That was what was said. Anyway, so as I have just said, this is not a preferred. Read that bit again. Question: how will these members call you to position? Answer: often we test this signal and you hear it as a buzzing sound or ringing sound in your head or ears. That is sound waves, but without the broadcasting to you, as yet to inform the chosen of what they are to do. They're sending out signals, but there's no information in the signals. That sound wave, that broadcasting can be telepathic communication. They're making a sound to you just to see if you're still tuned in. Okay. So, as I have just said, this is not a preferred course of action because of the shock of the procedure. Many nervous systems are not yet prepared to handle a sudden incoming light wave message, telepathic from the Nibiru. Hear that? We would say the Benu, but they were the Sumerians Nibiru. Okay, so these messages be telepathic from Nibiru, or could be from one of the crystal cities or from one of the different shams. Okay, the beings will communicate to the elite. It would be like a surge. A surge of that nature would result in the loss of some of the 144,000 children of the Elohim. We say Panadal. Remember, this was written in 1995 or something. It's released in about 1995, isn't it? Yeah. Every time Ayanun try to take humans to a higher level, some leave. Then we are forced to cut the ethereal cord from us, meaning that every time we move up to another school, we change schools, not everyone can hack that. So for whatever reason, they leave. And you find that it's the shaking of the tree. Then we move on to another. Go ahead, brother, say something.
I'm saying the reason why people are not when they leave is because too much information. Because obviously it's like the information level has reached a point where it's going so deep into just like the breakdown of, like you said, macro set and natural brain concept and degrees of levels of like having the knowledge of law, for example. Now, I found this just the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, spirit blew my mind. I'm like, right, law is land, air, and water.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they control that. I only found that the other day, so it's like, wow. Get me? But I'm saying like the point I'm making is, if people aren't ready for information, because obviously the biblical scroll is done with, Christianity be done with, Muslim be done with, finish that, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can stop with anybody you want, but I'm saying in terms of the connection of the higher realms, got somewhat some of the spiritual, some people think capacity is very low.
Oh, limited, yeah.
They can actually stay spiritual. Yeah, not knocking it. I'm saying that when you start getting to the scientific part of information, that people like are very docile in that kind of level. So what was that? Could that be mixing in because they got different genes, gene splicing, and people aren't ready for that?
Yeah, that's a very, that's a very, very good question, because the master in the Patarak, the all expanding, it says everybody has, some people have a limited expansion rate, some people have unlimited. Their ability, like you said, in terms of absorbing information, or some people, to them, Wu-Sabat is a destination. For others, it's a journey, never-ending journey. So some people, they've reached, this is their station. They come into, when we say we was in Islam, they come in, and when the master says, right, dash off all them garbs, we move to the next level, some people, they can't do it. So they say this, get off the craft and stay on the platform and go their own business. That was their station. That was Hades, their destination, their destiny, their destination. Yeah. Then you got others. Doesn't mean that because they came off at like in West Croydon, that can't come back on the train and continue the journey. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
They've got to buy a ticket.
They've got to buy a ticket. You know what I mean? Yeah, you have to buy a ticket, a new ticket, and to get on the train, on the craft, and continue the journey. You know what I mean? And there are people, we've been adoption years, you've been adoption years, and you see many people come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go. Some people, they left and they came back, and some people left, came back and left again. The train even pulled off the station, get off at East Croydon and got on the train, and just as it's about to pull off, they come and jump back on the West and East Croydon and go along their business. So for some, it's a destination. For those amongst us, it's a journey. You see, and for some people, so every time we moved from school to school to school to school, that was like a form of the shaking of the tree. And the biggest shake-up we've had has been what? What's the biggest shake-up of shake-ups?
We moved into Wu-Sabat.
Yeah, we're in Wu-Sabat. What's the biggest shake-up?
Oh, as in what, level wise or talking about?
Shake-up,
since Master went inside.
Yeah.
And that's when people start, oh, okay, he's inside.
Everything was strict. Strict, no land, no nothing. Now, let's see who's standing to date. You see, and that's what's been happening. So this is the biggest shake-up we've had for the length of time that I've been in under the.
He did say on the update this last Sunday when he said he's coming out on the actual call.
Okay.
Yeah, so he said he said putting the call, the national call.
Yeah.
He said himself, I'm coming out.
Yeah, he's coming out.
Yeah. So
he's coming out. So the thing is that people should bear in mind that when you hear the master's voice, remember, we haven't heard the master's voice for years and years and years. Okay, bits and pieces here and there, but that should be a wake-up call. But you know the saying, when the cat's away, the mice comes out to play, thinking that the cat will never come out. But God is coming out. And the master says in the book, the scroller, my brother, extraterrestrials, what he said, master said, I'm not the only one incarcerated. All Negroes are incarcerated with me, but they don't know it. But here is the difference to the master. His physical, I have to use this word, appears to be incarcerated, but not his mind. Once you get the mind, you get the body. So we are incarcerated, but we don't realize that we can't see the prison bars. So we think that we are free. And he really makes reference a lot also to religion. Those people in religion, they are incarcerated as well. So they think that Jesus or Muhammad or YHWH is going to save them, Yahweh is going to save them. But no. I mean, he said the Black Messiah is in our midst. You see? So when he comes out, he said they'd be more powerful than when he went in. I mean, you know what I mean? So interesting. Interesting, mate. And you know he's not gonna be alone. Remember we reading the other day, if you go to the book of Revelation, Injil, page, I think it's 308, in there's a footnote called The True Story of Bennett. And he explains in there that when he came here as the Comet Bennett, there was X amount with him. Some came here to do a job, they left, and the others were, yet to be identified, have not been identified, but they did a necessary and important job. So he's not alone. See? So, but when he comes out, all will be revealed. That which is concealed will be revealed. So yeah, it'd be really interesting, when he says he's coming, I know he's coming out. I mean, so stay on Padarak, watch this space. So going back to the thing about the 144,000, it goes on to say, it talks about, the upgrade and it may result in the loss of some of the 145,000 children of the Elohim. Every time I, Yanun, try to take humans to a high level, some leave. Then we are forced to cut the etheric cord from us. This hurts us, but it must be done. Then we seek a new soul to prepare for the trip. There's been many good teachers during the time, many good teachers, and for whatever reason, they left. I mean, many good teachers, I have to say that, but they left. It is what it is. So now, then we must seek a new soul to prepare for the trip. So now is the time. You humans are on a path of destruction. You indulge in many things that just are no good for you. For instance, everyone loves music, yet music, or what is called music today, as a form of recreation, is doing just that, recreation. This goes back to your question, Kupsanov, about the 104,000 and hertz, etc., etc. Let's read this. Question: what do you mean when you say music is one of those recreations that will slowly but surely kill you? Oops. Says it. What I mean is everybody's vibrating on a certain tone. One of the 7 notes on the scale of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This vibration is detectable and linked into brainwaves. Certain mystical groups use the tone Om. You talking about Om earlier on? Certain mystical groups use the tone Om. They chanted repeatedly to attune the body into one tone or frequency. They call this chant mantra. A chant, verse, or charm of an Indian scripture. These Buddhists and other chants get you to vibrate on the frequency that will align you with the forces that will enslave your soul. If you listen to some, like you take Om as an example, if you go on YouTube and listen to how the Buddhists or the Hindus, how they chant Om and how we meant to chant Om, is different. It's different. That's because of our vocal cords. More importantly, I think our skin and the melanin. You know that the science behind the vibration of our skin is called telemetry. I don't know if you heard that word, telemetry. Telemetry means remote communication. That's what the word is, telemetry. And our skin is likened unto it's called likened unto a membranophone. A membranophone is like the skin of, let's say, like a djembe.
Drum?
Yeah, like a drum.
Why do you say that?
Go ahead.
Because you know that your dolphin,
Mm.
where you basically echolocation,
Yeah.
and also relate to dolphins. So I'm saying that the dolphin skin is just like human beings.
Yeah.
Skin. It's not like a normal fish with got scales.
Yeah.
It's got like smooth skin.
Yeah.
So I'm saying on that level of that vibration of the skin, you kind of say, yeah, jump.
Yeah.
And there's a bit like, what's it called?
Telemetry or membranophone.
Membranophone.
Membran or membrane,
Mem-
like a phone. Yeah.
Yeah, so it beats the drum.
Yeah.
And obviously the skin pulsates
Mm.
as well. The music
That's right.
as well. So it kind of all ties in.
Yeah. Now it's good you say that because the skin is the largest organ on the body, right? And when you say it pulsates or vibrates, because our skin is held together by electromagnetism, correct? And there are pores in it. And as we're chanting correctly, the pores will start to open up and we can receive information by using the correct tones, frequencies, and vibration. So we're talking about Om here, and we've talked about this many times, and how to chant Om correctly. And remember, we said that we gave you an example, an experiment to do, like you're having a bath. Remember, we said have a bath, dip your ears under the water, and just start chant Om. And you know that the reason why we say water is a transceiver, correct? And remember that water is that sedway between the physical and non-physical. You see, because remember, water is composed of hydrogen, H2O. But hydrogen, if you look at the hydrogen atom, the hydrogen is really hydro, which is hydro pertains to. We heard the word hydro, it includes hydro, what is that hydro? Water in it. Hydrogen has water in it. So in the word hydrogen, there's water inside hydrogen. Or the word hydro, and you got generates or births, that which births water. That's what hydrogen basically means. Remember, it's there in the word. It's in the word. And remember, hydrogen is midway. It's not a fully complete element, and it's not a fully complete subatomic elements. Midway. Hydrogen.
Yeah, so the gene pool becomes it the water. It's 2.0.
2.0.
H2O.
H2O.
So the 2 molecule
Yeah.
would be what then?
The two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom in it, H2O. But when I say it's to be 2 H2O in it, which is 2 molecules of hydrogen atoms and 1 molecule of oxygen. You see, H2O in chemistry. Okay. And so I know you want to say something.
It's a question, but it's a really weird one. I'm trying to understand the analyticals of it in my mind because I know that the body is made of majority water. And you're saying that hydrogen is hydrogen that gives birth to water.
That which births water.
That which births water.
Yeah.
But water itself cannot be complete without the oxygen.
That's right.
And oxygen is something that we breathe in. And essentially our soul is made from the breath of life.
That's right.
Can you explain what my brain's trying to do in trying to connect that? Can you explain the theory of all of that scientifically?
Yeah. The thing is, that's a very good thing. Do you know that brain is not the first organ that was actually created? It was the heart and the lungs, then the brain, because natural ether energy, the strong natural ether energy goes into that. There's brains in everything. So what it is that in order to survive, the brain needs blood, because the blood is what transports oxygen to the brain. The blood is what transports oxygen to the brain, for survival. Okay, so now, do you get what I'm saying? So what it is that oxygen is needed for the majority of oxygen that the body needs goes to the brain. You know what I mean? For survival. Okay. So once the brain is starved of oxygen, you become known as brain dead.
So saying that, yeah, the life force, which you mentioned about the
Right.
force,
Yeah.
that will come from the plane of force, right?
Plane of force. That's
Therefore, the plane of force, when you buy an apple, the taste of the sweetness,
the nutrients.
the
Yeah.
nutrients come from the plane of force.
That's right.
So therefore, tying into plane of force would be somewhat, not a spiritual part, but consisting of like the water elements in that force energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm work with me.
Yeah.
I'm saying the energy part of that apple,
Mm.
let's say, like Dr. always says, like the apple never finishes its destination until you bite it.
Mm.
So therefore, when it's bitten into the plane of force energy, it comes from that source where the plane of force resides.
That's right.
So therefore, the heartbeat, look at me, the heartbeat is linked into the plane of force.
That's right.
Because the plane of force, what's it called? Because it's involuntary.
Mm.
It's not voluntary.
The heart, yeah.
So therefore, it all ties in. Now, the question should be, if the heartbeat is involuntary, how is it that brings, what's it called? What's the word? The beats alone, 20 beats, 72 beats per second.
Mm.
If you're younger, it beats faster.
Yeah.
If you get older, it slows down.
Mm.
Yeah. So therefore, the RPM or the systolic rate of
Okay.
your heartbeat, depending on how systolic beat in your heartbeat is that because you're going back to your inner force slowly? Or is that mentioned as in like the breakdown would be that if you look into the scientific part of the heart and how it functions, the aorta, and that kind of stuff, the blood system, yeah. So I'm saying when you start looking into it much more deeper on the deep level, you will see that the heart consistently,
Yeah.
without doubt, yeah. I want to know if the plane of force, how the plane of force work with the heart.
All right. That's a very good question. Let's quickly go to that book. Because it's answered that question, it's answered in the black book. And you know of the forces of hu, he, can see. Okay. Now this is what is this is from the black book, page 117. And in here he's talking about what is hu, what is hikan, what is sia. And this is what he says here. These beings, he's talking about hu, he can see, once dwelled in this realm, this 3D realm, and now are guiding forces and controlling forces from beyond this world, working as the involuntary to the voluntary in the human body. You see? So what he's saying here, like saying, our heart is, as you say, involuntary. And like the movement of our lungs is involuntary. The movement of our blood is in certain functions of our body is involuntary, and that is controlled by forces. And three is mentioned here is Huhi, Hika, and Sia. You see? And let's continue reading here. It goes on to say, this is page 118, verse 309. So Huhi, Hika, and Sia are a tried principle of Godship. Make note of the word principle. Okay, these are principles. The Nitiru, responsible for the consistent and perpetual pattern of that which manifests in that which is created and made, and that tone or utterance is Om, which later was rendered as Kun, as in existence, or Be as in into existence things comes. So it's what he's saying here is that this tone Om, if chanted correctly or when chanted correctly, can bring things into being. Okay, but if you are chanting Om, you are affecting your internal organs. But you got to know how to chant that correctly. And when we said this in many classes, the way to do that is you got the word AUM, but it should be AUM. That's how you pronounce it. AUM. So really, we should be chanting AUM. That's how you meant to chant it. AUM. So you chanted each letter individually. So you go AUM. And when you go AUM, you notice the movement of the mouth, and you should feel a tingling sensation in the ears. But as a triad principle, AUM, it becomes AUM. You can hear that. As an individual, it'd be but as a triad collective, it becomes you can hear it. And in the does it say in here? In Man from Planet Risk. Go back to Man from Planet Risk again.
Actually, just to let you know, Theo's had his hand up for a very long time.
Oh, sorry. If any questions, just go ahead, Theo. Sorry, somehow. So I can't really see on Zoom here. Go ahead, Theo. I was about to say risk to Theo. No shot to Theo. No shot to Theo.
Oh, there we go. I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
unmute myself.
Oh, you couldn't make
Uh,
go ahead.
Yeah, it was just going back to what you said about music.
Go ahead.
Is there any music that we can listen to, or would you recommend to not listen to anything at all, if possible?
Yeah, the master did recommend he did he did recommend reggae music, he did say that. Or natural music. We're in a day and time whereby that's a good question. Okay then, listen to music. Let me just read something from the same scroll, because you guys are saying things that. Okay, let me just read this to you. The Man from Planet Risk. Okay, yeah, here it was page 72, Man from Planet Risk. Okay, what music you listen to? Now, hear this. That's for Theo. And this is for the listening audience as well. Page 72, Man from Planet Risk. Question. What do you mean when you say music is one of those recreations that will slowly but surely kill you? Answer. What I mean is, he's about to read this, isn't it? What I mean is, everybody's vibrating on a certain tone, one of the 7 notes on the scale of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This vibration is detectable and linked into brain waves. When we say brain waves, we're talking about a brainwave frequency. We're talking about that when you're awake, the waking state is called the beta level. Then you got alpha, theta, delta. Okay, then you got higher levels as well. Okay, so certain mystical groups use the tone Om, and they chant it repeatedly to attune the body into one tone or frequency. And there's a tape where the master teacher actually gives a demonstration of how they chant 3 tones simultaneously. The tape is called what's the tape name of that tape called? It'll come to me. Okay. That's a very, very good tape though. Yeah. It's the first time I ever heard the master do some tone. Some may on the second somebody may know it. Okay. After the year 1925 AD, the grid of sound or vibrations of music had changed from vibrating on 8, which is 8 hertz. Now it's A440, meaning the musical note A has a frequency of 440 hertz. 440 hertz basically means music, they sped it up, so music is now vibrating 440 beats per second. So sped it up. Okay. Oh yeah, it says it here. Hertz is a unit of frequency in the centimeter gram second system, which is 1 cycle per second. So basically, when we say 440 hertz, you're talking about music is now on the frequency of 440 cycles per second. Or yeah, there you go. So there, or cycles per second on the 5th octave, meaning that we should. I'm going ahead of myself. It should be tuned to C instead of A. The Earth vibrates at 8 beats per second, or 8 hertz. Okay. On C, not A, in the 4th octave, not in the 5th octave. So they stepped up 1 octave, increased the speed 88 times, and now everybody's messed up in it. Okay, that's its pulse because it's alive like the planet Earth. It's alive and has biorhythms just like humans. This is the Ohm principle based on Mother Nature. You know, that has Ohm into Mother. We talked about that earlier on. Okay. However, since this telepathic influence, musical instruments such as the piano has been tuned to A440, which is 55 times what it oh, there you go, not 88, 55 times what it should be. And it has been sped up since 1945 to 442 hertz and 443 hertz. By speeding up music, it sped up time. So we should be listening to music really at 8 hertz per second, not 440 or 443 or 442. And let me see if I made some notes about it. What they said is that I've got it here. Anyway, what they said is that I'll Google that, and what they said is the reason why they admit to speeding up the frequency from 8 to 440 hertz is so that all instruments can be tuned to 440 hertz. So there is an alignment. Why not? Okay, what kind of yeah, tuned to A?
Yamaha.
Huh?
When you use hammer, Yamaha.
Yeah, the master.
Yamaha,
Yeah, the master teacher talks about that, how they sped up the music. And anyway, so what kind of foolishness is the foolishness is that, you know? Anyway, so let's continue reading. Okay. It had the ability to move you interdimensionally in the 3rd and 4th dimensions of emotions. Some of these dimensions are telepathically influenced by negative beings who move you up to the 5th octave because that's where they vibrate. So if you have to say what type of music you should be listening to, really it should be music on the 4th octave at 8 hertz based upon middle C, not in the 5th octave based upon the note A at 440 hertz or 442 or 443 hertz, you see. So it's saying here that that was done deliberately by beings who vibrate on those higher frequencies or those higher octaves to help influence. So basically it's for their own purposes. Go ahead.
By doing that, you just said, yeah, something important. By doing that, does that vibrate on the genes of the people of the planet?
100%.
So therefore, the genes are whacked out.
Out of sync, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good you said that because the 8 hertz ties into the planet. The planet also vibrates at 8 hertz. So really, everything is in synchronicity. Our body is tuned in to the planet, and the planet is in tune to natural nature. Remember, the master said, remember the FAC? Remember, the F is the planet, A is the human body, and C is the cosmos, isn't it? See? Go ahead. Rob wants to say something. Go ahead, Samel.
Is that also why male Nagaru singers now sing in a higher pitch because before they were a lot deeper in their tone and the way that they sing, and now they sing a lot higher, which is not our natural sort of like tone.
Right, yeah. All that plays a part. All that plays a part. All that plays a part because we are Nagaru males are naturally, our voice is naturally on the bass, the feminine is on the treble, and like what you say? He said that that's it. Males are on. How do you call it? He calls it. You got major. The term he uses for music, whereby
Baritone.
no, he said that I can't remember. It's a term they use in music where you've got the males are bass. I can't remember. Major minors and something like that. But anyway, yeah, the males are meant to be tuned on the piano on the left side. Females, that's it. That's it. Flats, sharps, and majors. That's it. Males are meant to be flats. Feminines are meant to be sharps, and children are meant to be majors, which is in between. Yeah, I'm sure that's the correct term they use. Flats. You got flats. You got treble, and you got the majors. Those of you who listen to music.
Children are not supposed to be higher than females. It depends on the child.
But that's how you dropped it. Those who know the music, I'm sure Sikan could take us to the next level of that. Okay, I want to okay, so okay, so what music? So going back to Theo's question about what we should be listening to, what type of music? Basically, music that is, as we said, vibrate in synchronicity with the earth and with our bodies, etc., etc. And the master says, have you read here, that the shift was done telepathically by beings, so to bring themselves in because they are. What do you say here? What do we say? Fourth, they operate in the fourth dimension. Now, I mean, he said that how the planet Earth vibrates at 8 hertz. And do you know that the 8 hertz coincides with the alpha level brainwave frequency? Meaning that if you do a lot of meditation or concentration or even chanting, when a cat purrs, that's on the the 8 or the alpha level. Yeah, the alpha level. So that alpha level, the 8 hertz is in tune. 8 to 12 hertz is in tune with the planet and also your brainwave frequency, and also you're able to tap into other higher dimension. Then that's the alpha. Then it goes down, even drops down to 8, from 4 to 8 hertz, or they call it 8 cycles per second, which is the theta level, and even lower down, which is the delta, which is what do you call it? They call it REM sleep. So what is actually basically saying is when we go to sleep, our brainwave frequency naturally drops down, you see. But when we are awake and listen to music that is not conducive with our own body vibration, our own vibratory frequency, we become distorted. Our thinking becomes distorted, you see, but it's done deliberately. So ideally, the best instrument would be your voice. But there's an app called The Tuner. It's an app called The Tuner, and you could talk or chant or whatever into this or say and it will tell you what note you're on, whether it's sharp or whether it's a major or whether it's a flat. The tuner, you see. That's good. DA dash TUNER, the tuner. Okay, it's a good app to utilize to test your own brainwave frequency. Okay. Without a doubt, though, we will have different brain. So go back to Theo. I hope that helps, Samal.
Could I ask a follow-up question with the music as well?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
What can I do if I can't avoid it? Like in my workplace, there's like a radio playing full of like bad music. Is there anything I can do to like block it out?
You can pull the plug or tune it to Rugged FM or something like that. No, it really is, man. The best thing you could do really is create your own psychic self-defense, really, Do the best that you can, not that you're not going to make it, just do the best that you can, You can't, if you could change the station, do you know that in actuality, you have to take the best of where we are. We have to take the best of the worst, really. Yeah, take the best of the worst. What I could say is, try and tune yourself into you, and that will create a force field. But if you listen to that 24, 8 hours a day when you go to work, I don't know. Can you train the station somehow? Or there be arms house? Um, you've got another question. Is that from Jackie? Jackie?
Yes, Robert,
Robert.
in regards to the Category 5 hurricane that caused catastrophic damages in Jamaica, was it man-made? Was it weather manipulated that brought this on to Jamaica?
That's
and further, is it regarding some agenda? Some people say that it's regarding the 2030 agenda to make it become like smart cities in Jamaica.
If I say anything about that, it'd be mere conjecture. But without a doubt, they do have the technology to create hurricanes and things of that nature, and it's called the HARP project. It's a thing called the HARP project. You can always Google that, and they can create. It's called High Altitude Aurora Research Project, HARP project. That's what it's called. HAARP. Do some research on that, and they do have the ability to create weather patterns. They do have that technology. Also, nature also. I remember hearing, I know it was the master said it, that a hurricane did rip through. I don't think it was America or somewhere, whereby it did like a turn, like you're driving a car. So it bypassed Negro neighborhoods and mash up the Carcassonne neighborhoods. So in answer to your question, Jackie, I don't have. If I say anything, it'd be conjecture, but they do have the ability to create hurricanes and things of that nature, and tornadoes to take out lands. And so it came from Jamaica when it went up towards Cuba, in that vicinity. So I think brother say something.
But do you look on the I Am America map? It's an old map that got released in 1996.
Some of that region.
It's called the I Am America map, which shows the planet Earth before and after. So basically it's called Lori Toy. If you go on YouTube, you can check it out. It's called Lori Toy Sport with the I Am America map.
Yeah, that map, as I was talking about, is I think the lady who constructed that map, I think she received telepathic messages, and she constructed a map where it showed how certain lands will be underwater and certain lands will rise up, and the chunks of America was taken out. I think most of Europe was taken out. Portions of Africa was taken out. So that's what the brother is making reference to, the I Am America map. So to your question, Jackie, I don't have any conclusive information as to whether that was man-made or it was by of natural nature. I personally tend to lean towards it being man-made. You know what I mean? Okay. Have you got any information on that about that? Jackie?
Yeah.
No? Oh,
Mike's muted.
Mike's muted. Can we unmute it from here? Okay, let's go to Jose. Jose, let's step to the mic.
Robobat Moisar.
Robobat Zamal.
Robobat Zapti. Actually, Jackie asked one of the questions that I also wanted to ask regarding Jamaica. And the second one is about the 3-Eye Atlas. What is the take of the culture regarding this phenomenon?
That's another one as well. The thing about the thing is that, again, you know what? They can put whatever they like out there to dupe the people, to say, because we know that extraterrestrial intervention on the planet Earth, there's more evidence to support that than there is to support a guy called Jesus walked the planet Earth. But it's like they're trying to dupe the people by saying, oh, this could signify life on other planets, and it could be. So me personally, I tend to lean towards, again, that being they are letting you know what they want you to know. Because there's been extraterrestrial intervention on the planet, and there's more, as the master teacher said it, not the master teacher said it, but anyway, there's more evidence to support extraterrestrial intervention than to support your biblical characters walking the planet Earth. So to me, I think that's just another ploy. That's to me. You know what I mean?
But just to also add on to what brothers just said, there's also a movie, yeah, which kind of like especially kind of creates that storyline where you're saying it's called Don't Look Up. Yeah. So you watch that movie, it's similar to what's happening now, technically. So what it is, like, they kind of manipulate people into not looking up and make fun of what's going on. So people don't actually take notice or take it seriously. So what it is, what I'm saying is, yes, there's extraterrestrials being on the planet so many times. Also, they got intervention where they kind of like seduce, it's called dupe people into like saying stuff online and everything else. So you got to watch out for that as well. So.
Because people say, oh, well, this goes into one thing. I was looking at a YouTube short. This just came up. There's this guy, Kakusu guy. He's around all I think he's an astrophysicist or whatever. And he showed a picture. It's on YouTube Shorts. And he goes, all those little dots, those silver dots you're looking at, they're not stars. They are galaxies. Untold galaxies. And this one here, and he zooms in, he zooms in, a galaxy, hundreds of what appears to be stars. Because no, these are galaxies that you're looking at. And trying to tell me of those millions of galaxies, this is the only life form on this one planet. And you have the Roswell incident. You have many people speaking up about extraterrestrials, Area 51, and your Bob Lazar, and etc. All these people. You got even the Bible stories. Muhammad went up to the seventh heaven on a donkey-like, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, 3-Eye Atlas appears, and people say, "No, this could detect life. This could be a first." In saying that, the master does says about the seven thunders and say that there is going to be extraterrestrial what do you call it? Intervention. And there's also, you can look at, I can't remember what year it was, but you could also tap into YouTube, and there's an incident where some school children, a bunch of school children in South Africa, an extraterrestrial craft landed in their playing fields. And there's this one guy, they're young children, but they're big adults now. This one guy goes, what he done, he had hypnotic regression done on because of that incident. And what he said that under hypnotic regression, he goes, there were four beings and they were moving like they're hovering on the ground, and there were X amount of lights that came from this craft, went into orbs, went around the craft, and then just disappeared. So are all those school children, were they hallucinating? It was just a bad nightmare that they all had in daylight? Well, so there's many accounts of extraterrestrial intervention on the planet Earth, and this three-eyed atlas, when I reason things out, it could be just another hoax, or it could be something that they themselves, I don't know. What do you think, Jose?
Oh, well, the reason why I asked the question is because I've been hearing a lot of things, information about it, and I quite can't have a position on it. So I wanted to rely on what the culture says. For example, on the Jackie's question, I think that the book with the scroll, The Man from Planet Risk, touches on it. So regarding the weather, the teletransportation, and the moving of energy, it touches on it. But regarding the UFOs, I haven't read a scroll yet that can guide me through it. So I don't want to have an opinion on something that I don't know, which wouldn't be smart of doing it. So I'll keep researching, and certainly when I have a clear direction, I'll be able to share my opinion, and appreciate love.
I appreciate that, Mel. In this particular scroll, Man from Planet Risk, something there. In that particular scroll, Man from Planet Risk, the master mentions about the Philadelphia experiment, and they wanted to display invisibility or radar invisibility, but they asked the whole USS Eldridge actually disappeared completely, and it moved interdimensionally, or it time traveled from 1943 to 1983. And because of the amount of high energy that was being utilized to achieve that invisibility process, it pulled extraterrestrial crafts in. It pulled them in, and things as had the master teacher mention it in a particular scroll there, the US Eldridge got locked into hyperspace. And the two guys, Al Bielek and Duncan Cameron, when they jumped out of the ship, they thought they landed in water, but they landed on ground. Let's put this on here. Okay. Okay, you want to read that somewhere? Yeah. I'm sorry, okay. Okay, the brother just showed me something here. This is talking about okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tying to the question about the weather patterns. Let's go ahead. And this okay, page 23 of my brother's extraterrestrial, and it reads: some of the yeah, my planet risk, yeah. Oh, my planet risk ties into the extraterrestrial intervention. Oh, sorry, the weather patterns. The weather patterns. Okay, let's go ahead. It reads here, page 23. Some of the destruction on the planet is caused by the warming up of the globe because of the excessive amounts of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which is helping to melt the polar ice caps. This is called the entropy effect, which is raising the water level all over the globe. Entropy is a property of matter used by scientists in connection with thermodynamics, which is the study of heat and work. The entropy of a substance increases whenever the energy it possesses to do work decreases. For example, steam entering into a turbine has a low degree of entropy because it can do work by moving the turbine shaft. After moving the shaft, the energy of the steam has decreased, thus its entropy has increased. The total entropy of the universe is increasing because in time, all matter tends to lose available energy. It is also used as a measure of internal disorder in a substance, a law of thermodynamics. I continue reading here. It says here, that's the reason there are so many floods in the United States. For example, the many floods on the East Coast and fires burning on the West Coast, which has become very dry from a lack of water. The melting of the ice caps is causing waters to shift more to one side of the planet that is already on a 23-degree axis and already wobbling in its rotation instead of rotating smoothly. The water from the North and South Pole will rush towards the equator, which will throw off the equilibrium of the planet, resulting with global hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, floods, avalanches, and volcanic eruptions. Okay. Okay, so there you go. The volcanic eruptions alone already causes faults and splinters in the Earth's surface, made from inflexible crystalline rock. The plates beneath the surface slide back and forth and snag, occasionally causing earthquakes. There would only be a small amount of survivors when this takes place at Pacific pivot points because the remaining parts of the globe will be devastated and the inhabitants on the surface eliminated. So what he's saying here is this is like a natural occurrence by of nature. Okay. But it's not saying that they also got their own heart project, the weather machines to create devastation, to eliminate parts of countries that they want to eliminate. Okay. So that's from Man from Planetary Space 2324. Okay. Hope that helped her, Jamal and Jackie. I mean, you've got Sakamtat. Your hand raised.
Well,
Rahuba.
it's not a question, it's just a comment. I was listening to YouTube and I heard a Jamaican man saying that the hurricane was a bit unusual because there was no thunder and there was no lightning accompanying the weather pattern. And they said it was unusual for that to happen because previous hurricanes there's thunder and lightning. I'll bring that up.
Oh, okay. So that's like implying that it was something that was orchestrated.
Sure.
Thanks for that, Zamaltat. Any more questions? Let's quickly go back into the class topic. Right. That's all we can read. Yeah, going back to this class, risk. So risk, partner Babylon and you. Is there a connection? So the master is here basically to try to transform us back into Ethereans so that we can make the trip in and beyond the stars. Okay. We'll say something about
the word risk being providers.
Yeah.
So you provide us with information to elevate.
That's right.
To your level. You did say you can be someone like him, but not him.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. 100%. Okay. Because each and of us are individuals, you see. Go ahead, some of that.
Question, I think Theo had a question.
Theo, you got questions, Theo?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to ask. I remember I heard Seken say that we were originally Ethereans, and then we came into this skin suit to do certain things. Why did we come into human form? What was the purpose? Like, what did we do it for?
Okay, yeah. We came here. We're here to experience. In actuality, this is what it says in the Holy Tablets. Good question. Right, and I think if I can remember, I think this is scroll of overlook. We came here because we wanted to exercise. Let me find it here. Came here, we wanted to know whether we had the choice of either staying in the higher realms or coming here to exercise will. I mean, he decided, yeah, I want to come down here to exercise will. We also came here to experience. So basically, this is a learning school. This earth plane is a learning school. This three-dimensional plane is the learning school. And it's a hard learning school at that. Let me see if I can find a particular quote. I'll find, but anyway, so I'll find that. See if it's here. Yeah, so I can't find a particular quote. I might find it later on. But yeah, so we're here basically to learn, because it's a school of learning. We come here to learn, to reach that level where we've made the grade to go back in and beyond the stars. And we had to, yeah, we actually decided in the higher realms to come here. And it's true that we were Ethereans, or let's honestly, we were Ethereans. We are Ethereans having a physical experience. You may hear the other term, we are spiritual beings. You tend to hear the term, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. But in Wu-Sabat, we would say, we are Ethereans having a physical experience. And it's when we go to sleep where the etheric part of us can temporarily leave the physical body, but still connected to the physical body by way of that etheric cord. So, but we're here to learn. So this is a school. When we go to sleep, depending if we say you do some chanting or whatever before you go to sleep, you're programming yourself and you can receive impressions from the dream world to help you in the physical world. See, so that in a nutshell, that's what it is. We are Ethereans having a physical experience. And the master says we do more for the physical than we do for the spiritual. Okay. When we, the reason why what Wu-Sabat is here is to give us that knowledge, how we can make connection with our relatives and ancestors, Ampa and Thoro, the higher beings, now by developing our secondary set of senses. And there are many, many things we can do towards elevation or to move interdimensionally. And as you mentioned here in the Man from Planet Risk, by us vibrating on 8 hertz, and we said earlier, we said how the 8 hertz ties in with the alpha level. From that level, we can make connection with our relatives who've crossed over, and the more we can make connection with the Palmo Slafu, the higher ancestors, and make connection with Panatharu. Okay. And it says here, again, this is from Man from Planet Risk, page 76, and it reads, Question: are there any people who okay, see this, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead. You could go up here. Question: how does this tie into the Earth? Earth and planet is answer. The planet Earth is vibrating with a biorhythm of 8, which is very soothing to the body. Would be C. Everything is now on the A note with sound wave of 440 hertz. From 8 to 440, that's how fast you have been sped up since 1925, 35, 45, 55. When you had music such as oldies but goodies, then in 65, 75, 85, 80, it got worse. 1995 AD, microwaves and country western music is not exempt because it's been influenced by rock and other synthetic music. Meaning, again, if there's a guy, listen to a guy called, I think Ed Myers, I listened to him today, I think it's a guy's name, Ed Myers. So I got assassinated, and he is saying how extraterrestrials played a part in the construction of music. Question: are there any people who still vibrate on the biorhythm of 8? Answer: 8 is vibrating on Om. Certain Sufi or Mutasawwif mystics and Tibetans who chant know about the tone of Om, and there were beings who came down out of the mountains, left the masters, and tried to retain their information, got caught up in the change. The Buddhists chant to Om. Jump from there. I talk about how they changed it here. Talk about. I'll just jump down here. It talks about Islam. Imams are chanting the Quran instead of chanting in Ghuna, which was the original chanting. They no longer chant from free tones and sound coming from the throat, but through their nose. They used to align their chakras to that sound. The original chant is lost. That was the original Ain principle that I taught you about, Om and Ain, starting in the back of the throat and up through the lips. Knowing this, you will get back to the earth. Because of telepathic information being sent through, that has thrown everything off. You aren't aligned with Earth anymore. That's why everything is crazy. The world is in total chaos. And the later scrolls after Man from Planet Risk, he told us about the FAC, F the Earth, A the body, and C the cosmos. Okay. So yeah, so Zamal, the reason why we're here is to earn our way back. And the operative word is earn our way back. And that's why the master teacher's here. He's here as a guide to guide us back to the right way. Okay. So I hope that helped, Theo. Stay on path track and you can't go wrong.
Yeah, that helped, thank you.
Okay, Tata Samal. Go ahead, Samal.
Okay. This is quite a long question, so just hold out and bear with me. So you grazed ever so lightly on the element of food and energy before. So I'm trying to explain how I got to this question. So our bodies are made up of majority water, which is hydrogen and oxygen molecules. And since we are trying to go through a transfiguration, I'm assuming that on a scientific level, we are therefore trying to transfigure or retransport our actual atoms of the body. And since we're trying to retransfigure those atoms, different things that we do would therefore transform those atoms. Now, I can understand from the oxygen point of view how breathing can readjust those atoms, but then from the hydrogen point of view, because we were talking about the water content within the food, therefore the foods would readjust the hydrogen atoms within our system. And if that's the case, would it not make more sense, or this is the question, is it more feasible to be eating foods in their rawest, most wholesome nature in order to consume the most of that hydrogen atoms? And the reason I say that as well is because in the same way that electronical devices or any sort of unnatural heat would fry our brains. For example, smoking and looking at phone screens and such would destroy us from the inside. Would cooking food therefore destroy those elements or those atoms within the food?
Okay, very good question. There's a lot there. In terms of cooking food, really, we should be eating what they call sun cooked foods, but we're not in the right environment. It is said that they never found a frying pan in Egypt, so we should be eating fried food. That's what I said. They never found a frying pan in Egypt. Really, as we are about 75% water beings, the majority of our food should be water-based foods. You see, because it's easier to digest. You see, so and also we should be eating foods that's in season. We should be eating live foods, meaning like really, say you pluck a apple from a tree, even Dr. Say talked about this. It's about the electricity that's in the food that gives us the vitality because it's alive. But when we go to Lidl's, buy tin tuna and them type of food, right? And the fruit, all we can do is our best. In saying that, because where we have to, that's the ideal world to eat water-based food, eat food that's electricity. But remember that we can imbue the food that we eat by way of our hands and by way of our thoughts. But let's say praying over the food that we eat, because you're sending energy. Or let's say the food that you're cooking, you're sending energy. You send food, you're sending divine energy. Like you're cooking food and you're in a happy mood. You got the Om, you got your favorite music playing, and you eat the food. Just say you're eating this food, and let's say you're eating food, and for the brothers here, you're cooking a plate of food, and yeah, the food tastes nice, sis, because you imbue it with love. But say man vex you up, right? You're hungry, you're hungry and angry, and you give the brother a plate of food, right? No one to the love. My brother put it like this. I remember one brother put it like this. If you went to a restaurant, for let's say you go to a restaurant, and this restaurant is where ambassadors and the queen and all of them top hierarchy, they go to this restaurant. The chefs behind in the kitchen, because they know whoever is coming to the restaurant, they will make a slice of bread and they put the love and everything in that slice of bread, dry bread and butter. And that if not dry bread and butter, that bread and butter will taste different and better than the meal deal from Tesco. You know what I mean? Because of the love and everything and the perfection that how they cut off the crust and everything, it'll taste different. So what I'm saying is that you can energize the food just by your being, by your thoughts alone. You can energize the food and give it vitality, even though it's not plucked from the tree, you got it from Lidl's or whatever, or Sainsbury's. It's a vitality. You can imbue that food with vitality, with love, etc., etc. You see.
Touching it as well, isn't it?
Touch it, yeah.
You give your energy, bring your energy to the food when you touch it. Like we never used to use utensils like knives and forks, things like that.
And the prophet just said that when we touch the food, we never use knife and fork. We used our hands. That's what Muslims do. You find that they eat using their hands, and they're saying that's why you become addicted to Snicker bars or Kit Kat and Twix, because you're chomping it with your hands. You see, so when your hands are making a communication to the brain, etc. So that's why you're addicted to eating. In Kit Kat, you're cracking thing, and you're eating all the time, right? Because you're making a communication. You love, like crisp and fish and chips, etc., etc. And that's a good thing you said that Paul mentioned about using our hands as opposed to knife and fork. Imagine you buy a Kit Kat from the shop, right? And use a knife and fork, put it in a plate. The Kit Kat won't taste the same as you use your hand.
No way.
You know what I mean? You say, what kind of thing is this? And it's still, you know, let's say, okay, you do that. It's what you do. It's an experiment. Go to the shop, go to Mr. Patel, go out and buy some Kit Kat. What you do? It's an experiment. Let me test it out. Fam, test it out. Go to the shop, buy your favorite chocolate bar, right? Snap it in half, right? Put it on a plate. Put it on the plate. Use a knife and fork. Chop it in half, okay? Fam, do this experiment at home. Remember, you got the practice and you got the science, you got the art. This is it. So get your bar of chocolate, your favorite chocolate. Put it on the knife on the plate, knife and fork. Cut it and eat the thing with knife and fork.
M&M's.
M&M's with knife with a spoon, right? Then what you do? Use the same M&M's from the same packet. Put it in your hand and eat it, and say which one tastes the best. The one that's on the plate with knife and fork or spoon, or the one that comes from your hand. It's like, you got to, that's how you to test the theory. But hang on, but it's confirmation. Yeah, do that, fam. Then come back next class. So yeah, test it out. Let's say next week, the brother said, the brother actually said that to do this experiment, get M&M's, put some M&M's on the plate, use your spoon, and from the other packet, put it in your hand and yam it. And I found that the one with the spoon, it didn't taste as good as the one in my hand. See, so there you go, you know.
That being said, jokes aside.
Jokes aside, yeah.
I must say, too much food will kill you.
Yeah.
Too little food will kill you. So they got to balance it out.
That's right. Yeah.
Saying that now is, what's it called? Also, we need food then. Basically, we are water beings in the dome of water. We're breathing air. Yeah. So instead of because eating is, because this person on YouTube again, it's like he's been eating for 17 years or 7 years, so long. He said to them, basically, he's a breatharian. So basically, it's a life force from natural air. And basically, the guy asked him, how do you become breatharian?
Yeah.
Easily stop eating. You can liquid, because liquidized food and stuff, you got the blenders that can blend carrots and stuff into liquid. So therefore, is food necessary?
Okay, that's a very good question. Because the guy who's a breatharian, or the individual who's a breatharian, they're taking the essence from the atmosphere. So when we are eating food, we're actually taking the essence of the nutrients from the food that we eat. And you're right, we don't have to eat that much food. Now, there's a fasting thing called, you heard about water fast? People are just drinking fasting, they're drinking water. What you should do is, sorry, you got Sheps, he's got his, Sheps, you could take mute your phone for a minute, please, Samal. Well done, Tata. Yeah, when you're fasting, say you're fasting, let's say I take water fast as an example. After I think the hardest is the first 3 days. After 3 days, it's a process called autophagy. Have you heard that term, autophagy? Whereby autophagy basically means is that your body starts to clean itself up, and it regenerates itself. So you do just drink water. And I think one of the brothers at work said two of them did it, and his brother he said to me, "I'd done that, but I could hack it for 3 days. But in those 3 days, my sense of smell improved. I'm here on the other part of the workplace. I could smell the food, and it's far. I could smell the food. So what he's saying is, but his senses start to heighten.
Yeah.
You see, but in terms of eating food, we don't need to eat that much food. And as we said earlier on, it should be really more water-based food. The solid, hard food that we eat, hard food and Ogusu stew and what else do you eat?
What do I eat? Oh my God.
Yeah, you got.
Hey, Ghanaians they mostly eat starch. So it's gari, yam, banana, fufu. It's all based starch based. So which is not good.
Yeah.
But they're used to it in that kind of heat.
Yeah.
So they would eat once a day.
Yeah, just once a day.
They would have like lunches, but what it did is mostly like carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's mostly carbohydrates and starchy foods,
Mm.
which they eat. Like I said, 'cause I've been there for a month, I can see what they operate on.
Yeah.
In terms of like what their content is.
Mm.
So me watching that now, come from the Western Hemisphere, thinking, damn, this is deep. And then with fufu, that kind of stuff, I'm like, I'll eat that once in a while.
Yeah.
Get me too much starch, it's not good for me personally. So I said to them, nah. So in terms of the food content, what they eat over there, it's mostly carbohydrates and starch. Yeah, but like I said, they'll eat in the morning. They'll eat in the morning.
Yeah.
And don't eat a day.
Okay, yeah.
So that'll sustain them for the day.
That'll sustain them, yeah. But so that practice won't work over here in the UK.
It can, if you really want to do it.
Yeah.
Can.
In this cold temperature.
For breakfast, yeah, that's cool.
It's
no.
Do you know everybody's really different. Me personally, I tend to eat very light foods and especially water-based. I drink plenty of fluids. That's me. Everybody's different. That's me. You see, and so everybody's different. You see, ideally, just like how everything works in terms of cycles, we should be. I don't. My first meal is about 12:30 in the afternoon, and then next meal after that is about 8. So I eat one meal a day, and but I drink plenty of fluids. That's me. Everybody's different. But the thing is that, fam, is that we should look upon ourselves as scientists and our body as a laboratory and see what works for what does not work. That's how this is how the master scientists, this is what they do. That's what Partner Babianana, he's a master scientist. And this is what he's telling us, this works and this don't work, or take what is useful, reject what's not, and add what is specifically your own, you see. So that's how we used to look at things. Even when you're reading, you're taking in, this makes sense to me, this doesn't make sense, this works, this doesn't work. So I'm going to reject this and I accept this because I put this into practice and it materialized. It confirms itself. That's what Wu-Sabat is, the science of facts and reality / confirmation. Does it confirm itself? See? So hope that helps, fam. Shep says, if you want to if you've got questions, Shep says. What's that?
All that was there's kind of like 3 parts to the question, but the first one is are all animals who are a product of natural nature vibrating on the frequency of the planet?
Yeah, that's right. All animals that are part of natural nature vibrate on the frequency of the planet. That in terms of domesticated animals, if you just mute yourself, please, Shepshes.
One more time.
Yeah, if you could mute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, Tartat Saman. Yeah, all animals of natural nature, that's in its natural habitat, like say in the wild, they are in tune with natural nature. They know when to move and where to move. Domesticated animals now, they are outside of their natural environment. See, so now they become almost they are in a artificial environment, you see. So that means that they are out of tune with natural nature. And also in saying that, there are certain animals, like say, for example, we take a dog, a dog basically is like an offshoot of a wolf. So they still have that natural instinct built in inside of them. And the master did say that if you don't feed them, they'll just turn on you and look like you're just another piece of meat, like an animal, you see. But you're 100% right, Samal. Animals that's in their natural environment moves in accordance with the earth, with natural nature. Okay, they know when to eat, and yeah, I mean, so hope that part helps. You got another part, Samal?
Tua, the second question is, I'm trying to see how to word it. Yeah. Does the blood have a frequency?
Does the blood have a frequency? A good question. Our blood does have a frequency because the frequency is in it does have a frequency. The reason why we say that is because as we read earlier on the Holy Tablets, it is controlled by way of the involuntary actions is controlled by higher beings that are also on the frequency. It can be distorted by way of our lifestyle. We can impede the frequency of the blood flow by way of our lifestyle, by bad food, intake of toxins like cigarettes, etc., alcohol. So it can have an effect on the frequency of the blood. Now, is the reason why we say the blood has a frequency is because our ancestors move through the blood. The spirit is in the blood. The life force is in the blood. Now, by being attuned to our own natural frequency, which is also inclusive of our internal organs and the blood, that keeps us in synchronicity with the earth and with natural nature. So the blood does have a frequency. Yeah. The note the Master Chief said will be the A. Now we had the FAC, and the body is on the A note. And we read earlier on about the frequency of 8 hertz. That's the natural frequency of the body, which is in conformity to the planet as well, okay, and to the brainwaves. So yes, Amal, the blood does have a frequency.
So the blood type, would that frequency be affected by the blood type? Because if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I am, were we originally all O positive as far as Nagaru? And then through mixing, we developed the various other blood types?
That's 100% right, yeah. Originally, we was O blood type. And yeah, due to mixing in, we've inherited different types of other types of blood types. Okay. So you're 100% right.
So would that affect our ability to connect with nature for those beings that have other blood types other than O, even if they're like, positive blood types, would they still have an effect on one's ability to connect with nature?
Yes and no. The reason why we say yes and no is because the master says that when you, for example, when you mix, for example, outside of your gene pool, you become affected and infected by other races' vibratory frequencies. So it does have an effect on. If it has an effect on your blood, you must know it has an effect on your brainwave frequency and also an effect on your internal organs and also on your mindset. So we shouldn't mix outside of our race. So it does have an effect, Samal, if you especially if you mix outside of your race. I think probably want to. What's that? It's a link.
Sure. One last question.
Hang on, Samal. Shep says he's got something to read something for you. Okay. Okay, just going to read that. Okay, the brother's got something he likes us to read to help you know. This is from the Master Secret called Designer Genes. And yeah. Okay, this is page 4. Okay, so Zamal, to help in your question, this is Designer Genes. And I just want to read from page 1, so just to give you what we're talking about here. And because the designer gene is DUF 1220. DUF 1220 is the mystery of primate brain expansion. The extraterrestrials use it to make a kind of man in their own Shabbat image, like them, yet would never mentally grow older than the mind of a 13-year-old. This is in reference to Caucasians. The smartest of the simians only have the mind of a 3 to 6-year-old. The simians of monkeys have 48 chromosomes, and that 48 chromosomes is equal to the planet Project Sector 24, or 24 plus 24 equals 48. So 24 plus 24 equals 48 chromosomes of the simians grown on this planet who become the ape-man, chimpanzee, and others. Let's continue on, jump to 8. Once the extraterrestrials mix their own 46 chromosomes to match the new axis of the planet, 23 degrees, you had 23 plus 23 equals 46 chromosomes. And the outcome of the simians 48 and the Pleiadians 46, with the Anunnakis 47 chromosomes, was a savant person with the mind of all three and often underdeveloped physical actions. The mind of the simian, a 3 to 6-year-old, the mind of the Pleiadian, a wicked, evil extraterrestrial. The result was a designer gene, now called DUF or DUF 1220. Now that they have knowledge of genomes or key Earth names, naming each of the genes of the genome and the helix, naming things able to speak. 12. This is a misconception that the larger the brain, the higher the intelligence, which is actually incorrect. The higher intelligence, the higher intelligence is dependent upon the increased number of neurons in the brain. So a larger brain doesn't equate to a being be more intelligent. It's got to do with how much neurons, how much of the brain cells are being utilized. And to utilize the utilization of brain cells and neurons corresponds to the amount of what they call it, synapses. Okay, the communication network. For example, primates have more neurons than non-primates. The DUF1220 domain is made up of 65 amino acids and is located in a certain part of the first chromosome. This encoding was found in most duplicated in 140 genes showing human lineage specifics, gain or loss. Yet, the number of changes in copy and most extreme was found to be due to the sequencing encoding DUF1220. There are many more copies of DUF20 encoded in the human genome compared to the genome of any other Sanafu species. Humans have approximately 270 copies, much more than great apes, who have between 90 and 125 copies. Monkeys have 25 to 40 copies, and especially prosimians are non-primate mammals. Approximately 160 copies of DUF1220 were added specifically to the Human Genome Project approximately 5 to 6 million years ago. So this is talking about the intervention of extraterrestrials, okay, how they affected human beings. And they've done this with the actually genes. This expansion relates to an average of 28 copies added specifically to the human genome every millions of years since this time. They programmed this new race of a kind of man and ape to be slave workers, entertainers. So remember, this is the Pleiadians and the Anunnaki. So they designed genes and created a savant or servant to serve them as servants. Yet the actual minds of the males of the Adamite race never get older than a 13-year-old of other races. He must have toys, play games, have contests, experience danger, fight, or like a child, act like adults. So he created a game cinema where they can act out being superheroes of all kinds. The designer genes today is seen and thought to be hobbies, talent, skills. They were all programmed in the mixture from the savant part of the gene pool. You know, the savants are those people who have higher intelligence in it. The results you see, people of all races who are obsessed with something. Some are obsessed with drawing. It's talking about all races now. Some are obsessed with drawing, dancing, singing, cooking, sewing, painting, fighting, killing, servicing, sports games, and so much more. Even sexing or nymphomania results in many cases as whores and or prostitution, or girls who just go from boy to boy, or Zazas, like a Zazas man to man called boyfriends, and my lover. She is a sex slave to males in her genes. So what Baba's saying here is that the reason why people do have a tendency or a higher obsession to do certain things because it's something that's been programmed within them. Okay. So you have people who, it goes on to say, so you have people who naturally seem to know how to draw better than others, or sing, or dance, or other skills, hobbies, talents. These were all programmed in the Adamites, who were made to be slave workers by extraterrestrials they called their Gadad God, by many names, who made them for their own pleasures based upon the tongue they now speak. Okay, so so back to your question, Shep says, when you talk about when we mix our genes with other races or outside of other races, or even you could, when you mix your DNA with others, even of your own race, has an effect on your being and even your blood as well. The reason why we say it has an effect on your blood is because of the spirit, because you've taken in the spirit of the person who you've mixed your DNA with. Okay, and it's even more pronounced when we mix outside of a race. Okay? And when you mix outside of your race, now you are mixing in different blood types as well. Especially when you have offspring now, they have a different blood type as well. Okay. So to help you know in that, Samal, if you haven't got, check out the scroll, the designer genes, the master secrets, and that could help you in your investigation. I hope that helps, Samal. Shep says.
Sure. Top of text, man. One more question, if I have time. I'm not trying to hold up. If other people have questions, I understand, and I can wait.
No questions so far. Go ahead, Jamal.
What frequency is divine unconditional love?
What frequency? Very good. That will be on the planet 8 Hertz. You see, because the planet is in tune with natural nature. And remember that, especially us as Nagaranadu, we too are in tune with natural nature. So our bodies to be in tune to the frequency of the earth. Okay? So divine love here will be the frequency with that of the planet Earth. See? So that, and when we say divine love, that is really the highest of frequencies or the highest of levels. The master, remember, back in the days, the master used to tell us about the 7 planes from the physical plane, and the 7th plane was regarded as the bosom, and that bosom really is a shock, divine love. That's the highest of expressions, a shock. See, so that's why we say in our Patakyut affirmation, we say, Anuki Javif Pa Ashok M Pa Pa'ut. I'm in the divine love of the all expanding, or Kula Shok Kawan Javafni, and all divine love is in me, or is within me. So the highest is a shock, or Pa'ut, Pa Pa'ut, the all expanding, is the epitome of a shock. Okay, can't get any higher than that. Okay, so I hope that helps them out.
So, yeah, so would the all expanding be, would that be the cosmos?
It will be the cosmos.
Or will we be the personification of all existence in the human form as etheric being? So we by that, would that mean that we would be, all divine love would resonate from the frequency of the planet in which we're on, and when we reconnect with, well, we're not never disconnected from all, but when we become conscious of that reality, then would that change the frequency to the frequency of the cosmos or the universe or the omniverse?
Yeah, it would have an effect. It would definitely change the frequency of this planet. If it would change the frequency of the planet from being a malevolent atmosphere to a more benevolent atmosphere. It would change the frequency of the planet because the planet is in a synchronicity with the cosmos, and the cosmos with the universe, and with the omniverse, etc., etc. So you're 100% right, is that the more of us that are vibrating on that frequency of divine love, or we would say 9 ether, because you know that 9 ether is the 9 to 9th power of 9 is the highest of expression. We would change the the vibration of the planet, and the it will change the atmosphere of the planet. It's like you're in a room. Let's put it. Remember, we had this analogy. You're in a room of 6 ether. Outside of the room is 9 ether, and as long as the door and the windows is shut, the 6 ether forces would dominate. But as soon as you open the window, you open the door, and that 9 ether starts flooding in, it will overpower the 6 ether. It would, those negative malevolent forces and the benevolent forces of 9 ether and Ashok would be ruled, would have dominion, as we say. Okay, so you're 100% right, Samal, that we can change the atmosphere.
So our unity is the key.
100% right, 100% right. Our unity is the key to unlock the doors that has imprisoned our minds, and imprisoned our minds also imprison our actions. And that ties into the word synergy. We say synergy is when 2 or more forces combined to produce an outcome greater than if done individually. So yes, unity is the key to produce a greater outcome. But hear this though, you're welcome, Samal. But hear this though, that unity, you could be unified in doing something negative, or you could be unified in doing something positive. But the planet is changing. The atmosphere of the planet is changing. But how the master's talking, he's talking about, and then let's put it like this. In order to things have got to become, what's that cliche? How to put it? The planet is alternating. There's alternation and alteration. The planet is changing. Things have to get worse before they get better, because the 2 opposing forces are meeting, and one will overtake the other. Right now, we are in what's referred to as a replenishing period on the planet, and in the 9th scroll, it talks about the calamities that's going to hit the planet. So it's either we come together, or we face the calamities. So the master put it like this: we got to know how to transform. So I hope that helped, Shep says.
I will take some, absolutely. I appreciate your patience and then walking me through the what is it, scroll?
Designer genes.
Designer genes.
Yeah.
Designer genes, yeah.
Yeah.
I read it once, but I hadn't quite read it 9 times yet, so a lot of the information has escaped me. But I'll get back into it and read it again. I definitely appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And okay, I will check.
You're welcome, Isabel. So you got another. You could read another 8 times. You only read it once, so another 8 times to go. And okay, cool. You're welcome. And we've got Theo. You want to step to the pulpit?
Yeah, you just mentioned there's calamities that are coming to us. Do we have like specific dates or years or times for when it's coming, or what is coming?
Well, okay. The master doesn't tell us on Wednesday. Oh, hang on, what's today? Today's the 1st. Doesn't really give us a date, but he doesn't really give us an exact date. What he's saying here is that oh, hang on. It is though. It's good you said it, because I just quickly open up the book, the 9, and I just jumped to page 103, and it says this: the meteorite, Pa Mishhab, the meteorite. And this is what it says here. The Wapians know that the day shall soon arrive. Doesn't take when the day, but know the day shall soon arrive, when the big meteorite shall strike this planet. What if that's the AI, Free Eye Atlas? What if that's the meteorite that's going to strike? I don't know. But anyway, it's the big meteorite. They say the AI was that the size of my hand or whatever it is. Big enough, isn't it? You got to listen to YouTube. Let's say something about.
Yeah, I'm saying like, why is it named Free Atlas? Is it a specific name for it, or is it someone named it on purpose?
No. It's the no Free Eye. The third. I think it's the third. I think the third. The third. The I stands for. I think it's instant. I Atlas. Atlas stands for something as well. It's a deliberate
acronym again.
Yeah, it's an acronym. Yeah, the three eyes, the third, I think, largest comet.
Interstellar.
What's that? Sorry,
It's the third meteorite that has been spotted, and I stands for interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah.
Okay.
One was Wu-nuwaup.
Which was the
COVID thing, and I think there's another one after that.
Okay.
Then you got this one here. Okay, and the Atlas, I think that's the place where it was first located. Some place where they had the telescope or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so back to Theo's question. Nuwaupians know that the day shall soon arrive when the big meteorite shall strike this planet. All will be shocked. Fear of the end of the world. That is not the end of the whole world. Much destruction, much death and injuries. A day and days to follow. Because of it, people who were separated will join as one. They become unified. But ain't it late in the day? So you become unified before the meteorite. The master's telling us. Yeah, the master's giving us, because the master's giving us the heads up. The fears will have powers stronger than separation and racism. Here it is. It's giving the name of the meteorite. Apophis, Abaddon, Apollyon. Destruction will change the minds and the hearts of the people. Refer to Revelation chapter 9, verse 1 to 21. So it's not the whole earth, it's just a portion of the earth will be in the comets or the meteorite's path. But it doesn't tell us what day and time it's going to hit. What we should know is that it's giving us the heads up. It's coming. So don't wait lastminute.com. Then look for the veterans or sisterins. Okay, Theo. So
yeah, I only asked just because I want to know how much time we will have to like grow and like.
Here it is though. The master gave us the time. He said the time is now. The time is now. He said develop yourself so that that you be able to receive those telepathic influences and know when to go and where to go before stuff hits the fan. Okay. So the master said that he said that you got those who will he said that you will have those who will be like him and they'll be taken up. And he goes, you got those who are left behind, they will have to know how to transform themselves. And you got those you also got the other group who are left behind, who will catch the help. So is what it is, isn't it? Okay. But it's giving us the heads up. That's why it's here. That's why Panda Babyanan is here. He's our warner. Okay, warning us. At the same time, remember, Wu-Sabat is universal knowledge, so this is for all races to align themselves. Okay, so I hope that helped.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, it makes sense. Yeah. So, anybody else? So when we talk about this class title, risk, Panabe, and you, the whole doctrine of Wu-Sabat is geared towards us elevating to that point whereby we all make the grade. That's what it's all about, you see. And some people says, no, it's a made-up place and whatever. The master says, well, in that case, it's not for you. No, it's not for you. So, okay. Any more? We talked a lot about, especially about the DNA. We talk about tones, frequency, and vibration. We talked about raising ourselves up and the chanting by way of the Om tone. It goes on here, it said, Math Planet Risk Name, page 77. You must be taught to vibrate on the frequency that will link you in with the oversoul. You have to tune your soul to the sacred tone of the universe, which we know is Om. From Mother Earth, which is 8 hertz, she is alive and she hums and breathes, and you are a part of her. You all are children of Mother Earth. Adamites, even though it's called Adamites, remember today in time, this was about Asnagara Nadu. This tone, which is Om, is all encompassing and it has no limits. It is the medium to the source whose love cannot be contained. That love is a shock, okay? For it is ever boundless. Because I say also Anu with Ilun L, you know, we do that before you say Reye, or the sacred tone. The tone, there it tells it here, it says it here. The tone which I speak of is the Ain principle or the sound of Om. Notice, if you will, that the sound of Om is as the sound of the first letters in the word omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. 3 attributes of the Supreme. The sound, excuse me, rises from the throat to the tip of the lips. It flows to the center of the head and escapes through the ears. So remember we said Aum, Aum. Yeah, and you can hear it tingles your ears, isn't it? Letters of Ainam, it's got here. The Hindu symbol of Om is like the Ashuric Syriac Arabic letters of Ainam Meme. And it goes on to say here, the translation of the word Om is so be it. It also means, when we say so be it, what does that mean? It is existence. So be it. So be it. Existence. We would say port. It also means to prevail, to spread over, to reign, or to dominate. And surely the omnipotent is the source and force of the universe, whose power overshadows all creation. Again, talking about Pa'ot, or we would say the omniverse, Pa Kale Makwanet. All things are created in tones of octaves of energy and vibration. Just as there are octaves of music, there are also octaves of tones. Between the 4th and the 50th octaves, the normal ear can hear sound. The ear is the most acoustic receiver in man's environment. On the average, normal people can detect sound intensities as low as 10 to the minus 16 watt per square centimeter and can stand intensities up to about 10 to the minus 14 watts per square centimeter before pain ensues. So there are also sounds that you cannot hear, but it's been broadcast. And by doing a lot of chanting and tuning yourself in, you can hear the master says there are your ancestors, the Panasaro, are sending messages to you. You'll be able to pick them up and hear them, or you would receive, when you become the other sense, intuition, become intuitive. You see, that's also part of your higher senses. In quantum physics, they call it synchronicity. You know, that's what it is, synchronicity. You got before we go. It's gone. Fam, guess what? We've reached. The landlord just give me the keys. The keys. Like he wants to lock up and to pull the shutters down. Fam, so let's see. Thank you. Let's say Tawakum. Thank you all for attending this class. Remember, it's you, the listening audience, are the ones who make the class, and it's each one teach one. And we are student teachers of the master teacher learn just as much teaching as well as listening to the information. The master says it like this: what we teach is what we need to know ourselves. I mean, we got to apply what we teach, you see. So become examples. The master said, more people are moved by your example than by anything else. Okay. With that, Moisar, family of Wu-Sabat, Palmos Bottle, the Sabians, you have to say Ahrus wu-nuwaup. Ashok.
Who is God? God is God.
I found out that this man who was Dr. Malachi York,
This free eye actors thing, they're playing on the ignorance of the masses. They let you know what they want you to know.
I said I was going to take all y'all back to Egypt with me. I can't because the Arabs are messing everything up, so hell, I'm bringing Egypt here for you.
They've made so much jokes about aliens, but the word really is extraterrestrials or extra beings.
A swift myth. In our language, that means the black man.
They say, oh, it's a craft, and then you start to look at the whole Anunnaki thing. The devil was telling the truth, and God was lying.
Amongst us, we have those beings, those high beings, going back 9 billion years ago, who are here on the planet.
Extraterrestrials do leave their children here. We can name drop them. David Bowie, Jimi Hendrix, caught up in their spiritual or their scientific knowledge of who they were, and they were caught up in both worlds. Within the center of the earth is hollow. There's beings that actually live and reside in there.
They now have fighter jets whereby it's connected to the pilot's subconscious.
Hitler was building this class in the Antarctic.
You can't claim innocence due to ignorance. It doesn't say at the beginning, it says in the beginning. So that means during a replenishing period. So that means that the earth was already there.
Some lost their soul because they've mixed in with other creatures on the planet. And when you mix in with other creatures on a lower level.
Souls are recycled. Spirits are recycled. Most people have not been taught the information about the spirit and the soul.